to Honor FM.
Honor 103.5 Ibadan.
This is the news on Honor 103.5 FM. Honor FM News, accurate, transparent, undiluted. We go deep. We bring you the news behind the news. Honor FM News. If it's new, then it's news.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the World News at noon on Honor 103.5 FM. I am Temitope Dada. In the news this afternoon, federal government governors agree on postponement of local government autonomy. From Africa, Kenyan court leader pleads not guilty to manslaughter charges. On the foreign scene, U.S. deploys missile submarine to Middle East amid tensions. And in business, Nigeria's crude oil production marginally increases in July. In entertainment terms, Rema makes Obama's summer playlist. And finally, in sport news, Tinubu hails the Tigers coach, Reina Wakama, for Olympic performance. Now the news in detail. The federal government and states governors have agreed to a 3-month postponement on implementing the local government autonomy, citing concerns over salary payments and operational viability. This means that the direct payment of funds into local government accounts, as ruled by the Supreme Court, will be delayed until October. The Supreme Court had given a landmark judgment on July 11, affirming the financial autonomy of the 774 local governments in the country. The court ruled that governors could no longer control funds meant for the councils and directed the Accountant General of the Federation to pay allocations directly to their accounts. The delay is aimed at addressing concerns raised by governors about the impact of the autonomy on salary payments and operational viability. Also coming from Kano State this afternoon, the Kano State Police Command has transferred 76 suspects, including a foreign national, to the force headquarters in Abuja for discreet investigation on charges of sedition. The suspects were reportedly arrested for flying Russian flags during the recent nationwide hunger protests, which turned violent in several parts of the north. Addressing the press on Monday, the Kano State Commissioner of Police, Salman Gaba, provided updates on the ongoing investigations and arrests concerning the unrest, while revealing that 150 individuals have been arrested and are being prosecuted for violating the curfew imposed by the Kano State government during the protests. And on the African news coming from Kenya this afternoon, the leader of a Kenyan cult, Paul Mackenzie, has pleaded not guilty to manslaughter charges in connection with the death of over 400 followers. Mackenzie, a self-proclaimed pastor, appeared in court in Mombasa alongside 94 other suspects with charges stemming from the discovery of 429 bodies, including children, in mass graves in a remote forest in Shakahola. The bodies showed signs of starvation and assault, leading authorities to believe that Mackenzie and his followers had been encouraged to stab themselves to death. Mackenzie was arrested last April, and his case is one of the worst instances of cult-related mass death. The trial is expected to shed light on the circumstances surrounding the death and the extent of Mackenzie's influence over his followers. And on the foreign news, the United States has deployed a guided missile submarine to the Middle East amid growing tensions in the region. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin announced the move which is aimed at deterring potential attacks on Israel by Iran. The deployment comes in response to the recent assassination of senior Hezbollah and Hamas leaders, which has raised fears of a wider regional conflict. In addition to the submarine, an aircraft carrier already heading to the area will now sail more quickly. The U.S. is signaling its determination to defend Israel from any attack by Iran, with Secretary Austin stating that the U.S. will take every possible step to protect its ally. The move comes as Iran is being closely watched for its response to the assassination of Hamas top political leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran last month. And coming from Ukraine, also, Ukraine's top commander, Oleksandr Syrsky, has announced that Kyiv's forces have gained control of 1,000 square kilometers of Russian territory. This comes as Ukraine continues its largest cross-border incursion in 2.5 years of full-scale war. The offensive operation in the Kursk region has been ongoing for 7 days. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has stated that Russia brought war to others and now it's coming back to Russia. This latest development marks a significant escalation in the conflict. Ukraine's forces are pressing deep into Russian territory, posing a challenge to Russian control. Russian leader Vladimir Putin has responded to the offensive, describing it as a major provocation, and has ordered Russian forces to kick the enemy out of its territory, indicating a strong response to Ukraine's actions. Also in the news this afternoon, a new evacuation alert for the Greek seaside town of Nimakri has been ordered on Tuesday, as fierce wildfires continues to affect the suburbs of Athens. One person has died, with a body believed to be of a woman found inside a shop in the town of Vrelysia, northern Athens. Thousands of people have been evacuated after firefighters warned that homes, businesses and schools were under threat. The huge smoke cloud that lingered over Athens cleared as Tuesday dawned, although the air is still hazy. If you are just joining us, you're listening to the World News on Honor 103.5 FM. Remember to follow and like all our social media pages at Honor 103.5 FM. You can listen live on Radio Garden app at Honor FM Ibado. And now to the business news. According to the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, Nigeria's average daily crude oil production rose to 1.307 million barrels per day in July. This represents a slight increase from the previous month's output of 1.27 million barrels per day. The marginal boost adds an average of 30 barrels per day to the country's oil production. The OPEC report contradicts claims made by President Tinubu and the Chief Executive of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Gbenga Komolafe, who stated that Nigeria's oil production had reached 1.6 million barrels per day. And moving on to the entertainment news. Former United States President Barack Obama has released his annual summer playlist. The playlist featured the duo of Nigerian music stars Tems and Rema, as well as South African singer Tyler. The former American leader picked Tems' Love Me Jeje, Rema's Yayo, and Tyler's Jump, featuring Guna and Skillbang, as his favorite African songs of the summer. Meanwhile, Nigerian-American country music star Shaboz's Eba song is number 1 on Obama's list. Sharing the playlist via X on Monday, Obama said with summer winding down, he wanted to share some songs that had been listening to lately, and it wouldn't be his playlist if it didn't include an eclectic mix. The playlist featured songs from various artists across different genres and continents. And finally, on the sport news for this afternoon, President Bola Tinubu has joined other basketball enthusiasts in praising the Tigers head coach, Rena Wakama, for her outstanding performance at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. Wakama was voted the best coach of the women's basketball tournament, an honor President Tinubu described as well-deserved. In a statement released by the spokesperson Ajuri Ngalale on Monday, President Tinubu lauded the 32-year-old coach for her achievement of leading the Tigers team to a remarkable outing at the Olympics, and in recognition for her exceptional coaching skills. President Tinubu's commendation adds to the accolades Wakama has received for her impressive performance, an achievement that has brought pride to Nigeria, and her recognition as the best coach is a testament to her hard work and dedication to the sport. And that was the world news on Ono 103.5 FM. But before we go, here is a recap of the main highlights. On the national news this afternoon, we informed you that the federal government and governors have agreed on a 3-month postponement on local government autonomy. And on the African news, Kenyan court leader has pleaded not guilty to manslaughter charges. On the foreign scene, the United States has deployed missile submarine to Middle East amid rising tensions. And on the business news, Nigeria's crude oil production increased marginally in July. And entertainment, Nigeria's artists Tems and Rema make Obama's summer playlist. And finally, on sport news, President Tinubu has hailed the Tigers coach Rena Wakama for superb performance in Paris 2024 games. For eyewitness reports, news mentions, or news commercials, contact the Honor FM newsroom on 0817 675 5555 or 0913 600 1035. You can also visit our website at www.onofm1035.net for more information. The news was compiled by Temitope Dada and edited by Ajitamola Saka on behalf of the producer Richard Ekpo. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Temitope Dada. Bye for now.